Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Well, Social Security has failed you. It has failed the American people. We're going to be taking a look at where is your money actually going? How is it being invested? How is it performing? We're going to be talking about why Social Security has been disastrous with your money. So stay tuned. Let's get right into it. But before we do, as always, make sure you folks do a couple things for me. Number one, give this video a tremendous thumbs up, smash the like button. I would appreciate that. And if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Click that big red button and have notifications turned on as well. By the way, we'll be doing our next cash giveaway when we do hit 20,000 subscribers. You'll have to be subscribed to be entered in that giveaway, so you might as well get it out of the way now and become a subscriber. With that being said, let's get started and dive right in. So this fascinating expose of sorts was just published, and it shows how Social Security takes your money, the money that for many of you, you've paid into the system your entire lifetime, in hopes that it would give you a good ROI down the road through Social Security and their federal benefits, how it takes that money and puts it into the markets, how it invests that money. And the truth is that it's disastrous. In fact, a 2-year-old, a monkey, could have picked better investments, and then we wonder why Social Security is heading towards bankruptcy and why the trust fund is expected to be completely depleted over the next decade, potentially setting up my generation and millennials for cut benefits, even less benefits than you're receiving right now. We often talk about revamping the system, changing the way that COLA is calculated and adjusted for seniors so it's in their favor, but we should really also be taking a look at what the money is doing, what the money that is coming out of your payroll every single week to Social Security, how it's performing. And Social Security had yet another abysmal fiscal year. So this brand new report now underscores how Social Security's investments fared over the last year as well as previous years when you compare it to the stock market in general and what anyone could have done. It's truly appalling. Well, America's main pension plan badly outperformed fast-moving markets, competitors, and even inflation thanks to a rigid investment policy that hasn't changed since 1935. The trust fund earned just 2.5% on every dollar invested last year that the trustees at least disclosed, and this was compared to a spectacular year in the financial markets where the S&P 500 index and international stocks rose 11%, real estate trusts rose 32%, commodities rose 26%. It's not a secret anymore. It's not a mystery why Social Security is constantly losing money and why their trust funds are hemorrhaging every single year. At least if they could outperform inflation, but they can't even do that, let alone beat the market. Nearly all American workers are forced to pay about 12.5%, 12.4% to be exact, every week out of their payroll into the Social Security Trust. Yet their money earned just a quarter of the returns of a typical global pension plan and would have been much better off in any other index fund. The fund's return was also less than half of the rate of inflation, meaning that in fact, by workers putting their money into Social Security, they actually lost 4% of their money in terms of total purchasing power. But you can't just brush this off and say it was an innocent mistake and it will never happen again. It was not just last year. In fact, let's take a look at historically how horribly Social Security has done with their money. Social Security investments have underperformed the basic pension fund benchmark in 4 out of the past 5 years, 8 out of 10, 11 out of the past 13, and 2/3 of all years since 1980. The average underperformance during the last 4 decades has been around 4.5% per annum. But how could this be? Well, under the terms of the 1935 law that created it, Social Security is unique in that it's required to put all their money in U.S. Treasury bonds. 100% of the funds must go to bonds, and no other pension plan in the world works this way. The rest of them invest their money into more profitable stocks, funds, real estate, and other assets. If you look at where the money is going in other pension plans, the vast majority of it is going into stocks, hedge funds, other commodities, and real estate. And very little of the money actually goes to treasury bonds. In fact, a lot of them actually go into corporate bonds. Corporate bonds could be riskier, but they could yield higher returns. The fact is that Social Security is underperforming nearly every other asset class in the world. But how did it end up this way? How did we get here? Well, this special law was put into place under the Social Security Act of 1935, and at the time, stocks were out of fashion. America was still reeling from the aftermath and the effects of the Great Depression when the market dropped nearly 90%. But this isn't 1930 anymore. This is an outdated mindset and has no reason or catalyst whatsoever. If you look at the course of history, you look at the last 100 years, America has survived everything from wars to flash crashes to recessions to 9/11 to even, yes, the pandemic, where the market recovered in less than 2 months, and this was the most significant pandemic since the Spanish flu. President Franklin Roosevelt had another reason to put the new program money in U.S. government bonds. It provided easy money to help pay for the New Deal, but the policy has proved disastrously expensive for the trust fund and the workers who rely on it. Since the mid-1930s, U.S. stocks have outperformed Treasury bonds by more than 6,000% overall. In addition to Social Security, the average large American pension plan today is expected to earn an average return of about 7% per year. Last month, Social Security was investing in all new FICA taxes and bonds, paying 1.5% interest. And this directly impacts the American people and now comes in the form of funding crises and even potential bankruptcy, which will totally jeopardize your future and your children's future and your grandchildren's future. For the last 12 months, the trustees have reported that the holes in the fund's accounts have now grown to $3 trillion, which was the largest one-year increase in history. Social Security is now down to a level of $20 trillion, or nearly 100% of US GDP. So unless drastic action is taken rather soon, Social Security benefits will have to be cut by a fifth across the board in about a decade. This could come in the form, though, of tax hikes and profit cuts, which would ultimately then affect the lower and middle class, the same people that pay into the system. Now, it is sad and unfortunate that we got to this point and that it ended up this way, but hopefully there are politicians out there, and there are a handful of them, that are standing up for the American people, standing up for seniors, and want to see change to Social Security. They're far and few between, but there are people out there, lawmakers, that want to see change made immediately. What are your thoughts on this entire debacle? Did you see it coming? Are you still hopeful that changes will be made? Do you think it will happen in the next maybe 3, 5, maybe 10 years? What are your thoughts? Let us know down below in the comment section. I'm curious to hear. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, be sure to share it with a friend. Also, go ahead and smash the like button. I would appreciate that. And if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Click that big red button and have that notification bell clicked as well. That little bell will actually notify you when we do post a brand new video or go live right here on this very channel. And if you want to get some free stocks as well, be sure to use my links down below in the description. Sign up with the brokerage platforms, Robinhood and or Webull. You'll get some free stocks, some valued up to thousands of dollars in some cases. So let me know what stocks you do get. And if you want to connect with me on social media outside of YouTube, I am on Instagram at Logan Cohn, LOGANKOHN, right there on your screen. Hope you enjoyed this one. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Take care for now.